Welcome back. So the Pakistan Cricket Board (PCB) has filed an official complaint against India with the Asian Cricket Council. The news is all over town. Um, they've also filed an official complaint with the ICC, the International Cricket Council, against the match referee, who in this instance was the Zimbabwean cricketer of erstwhile cricketer Andy Pycroft. And they've demanded his removal as a match referee from the Asia Cup. Now, oddly, this complaint was filed officially by the Pakistan team manager, a certain person named Navid Chima, and that complaint states that India's refusal to shake hands at the end of the game was against the spirit of the game. Now, we all know that India easily beat Pakistan in that game on Sunday, and then post the game, Suryakumar Yadav and the other cricketers from India refused to shake hands, which is normally the cause of how everyone does it, right? After the end of a game, you sort of shake hands with the umpires, you shake hands with the the opponents, and you go out of the field. They also said in that complaint that Pycroft, who was the match referee, violated the ICC code of conduct. They also violated the MCC rules pertaining to the spirit of the game, because apparently Pycroft went up to Salman Agha, who is the Pakistani captain, at the time of the toss and said very explicitly that there would be no handshakes at any point during the game. Now, it's also been reported that as of today, that the ICC has ruled against Pakistan's complaint. We have not seen any official statement from the ICC, at least till the time we were recording this, which is at roughly about 4 p.m. Dubai time. But most media outlets have suggested this and also reported this. Now, it remains to be seen if Pakistan will boycott the rest of the tournament, because they've said, I think, somewhere that if the ICC doesn't act on their complaint, that they would be forced to not play in the tournament. I think the game is tomorrow against the UAE. It's a must-win game for both sides. But leave that aside. My question is, Anshuman, is India's action, what we did as a team the other day, is it against the spirit of the game?
So at the crux of the matter is the handshake. Now, a handshake is one of the oldest human gestures or greetings. It signals cooperation and trust. The earliest depiction comes from a long time ago. I believe there are some stone carvings from Assyria going back to 9th century BC, showing two kings shaking hands as a gesture of alliance. And other than that, it also served the practical purpose of demonstrating that, you're not carrying a weapon. So you're signaling peace. So there are some interesting words out here, and some questions come to my mind. Do India and Pakistan trust each other and cooperate with each other? We all know the answer to that. The answer is no. Has Pakistan signaled peace after the conflict that took place a few months ago, after the Pahalgam attack? Some of the recent statements from the powers to be in Pakistan don't suggest that. In fact, the statements are just saber rattling. They even singled out privately owned places like the Jamnagar oil refinery as possible targets. Those in power apart, there are some members, some individuals from the Pakistan cricket team who posted content which was, frankly speaking, in very, very, very bad taste while Operation Sindoor was ongoing. Now, these people are in the Pakistan playing 11. So, is the Indian team expected to shake hands with the likes of Fahim Ashraf and Abrar Ahmed, who posted some really crude social media posts?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was reported even then, and and I don't think anyone from the Indian side took pot shots at anything, right?
Yeah.
And that's where the problem happens when cricketers get into the political space. Cricketers already intertwined in politics, sadly, and then when you do take a side like Fahim Ashraf or Abrar Ahmed, it becomes a little bit of a gray area there. Now, let's come back to the India part of this. Now, a lot of people have said, at least on the Pakistani side, we have heard this, that India broke the spirit of the game. Now, nowhere officially is it written that the players and captains have to shake hands. It's not in there. I mean, we know that cricket is a gentleman's game. We know that there are certain rules we follow. We do shake hands at the end of a toss. We do shake hands at the end of a game, regardless of whether you won or lost. But it's not an official diktat by anyone. I did read somewhere that in ICC events, the ICC does suggest, in the spirit of the game, that all captains do it, or all players do it. But again, it's not mandatory or compulsory. Secondly, when the game ended, I think it was Suryakumar Yadav who was on strike at that time, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Shivam Dubey with him. They did not, did not have any words to say against the Pakistani players. They simply put their bats out and they went back to the pavilion. During the whole game, we did not hear of any kind of sledging from India. There was no aggressive behavior. Whether usually you tend to celebrate a lot after getting a wicket. We didn't see that either. There was no great visual demonstration of getting a wicket or whatever. So I think what India did in that game is they played the game the way the game had to be played. It was very clinical. It was unemotional. And I think they almost reduced the game to saying that we're going to ignore Pakistan here. We're just going to play the ball in the bat and absolutely just finish the game and move on, right? So I don't know why this whole sort of hypocrisy that's come up, or why this duplicitousness that's happened, and why should we reduce, or anyone reduce for that matter, whether it's on social chatter or whether it's officially, why should a simple gesture of a handshake be which actually signifies trust and friendship, as you said, why should it be reduced to a sort of a token gesture or tokenism?
Absolutely. And like, this is not the first time it's happened in sports. Like, I'm sure there are examples from cricket also, but one instance which comes to mind immediately, which happened as recently as the Australian Open this year, when Elena Svitolina from Ukraine did not shake hands with her Russian opponent. I forget the lady's name. Incidentally, Svitolina has taken the stance of not shaking hands with her opponents from Russia and Belarus since the war started out in 2023. The WTA incidentally came out in her support and respected the position taken by her.
Yeah, well-known incident again. I think the opponent was Veronika Kudermetova. But leave aside, tennis or whatever. It's happened in cricket as well. So if you remember in the 2023 World Cup, the Sri Lanka team of that time did not shake hands with the Bangladesh team. And that was to protest that incident that happened with Agnolo Matthews, where he was timed out, and Bangladesh did not take their appeal back. Now, of course, it can be argued that they were protesting about an on-field incident, a game-related incident, and not something that had happened between the two countries politically or economically, or even in terms of, say a war or a skirmish. But there was also another interesting case where the Scottish cricket team, the Scotland cricket team, they did not shake hands with the Nepalese cricketer Sandeep Lamichhane. Lamichhane, people would know, was quite a interesting all-rounder. He was in fact picked even in the IPL, and they boycotted him during a game because he was facing a criminal charge of raping an underage girl, which is quite a serious charge, right? And again, the Scottish team only did not sort of shake hands with Lamichhane. So they had boycotted an individual, and it wasn't directed, like it wasn't a Scotland versus Nepal, country to country kind of thing.
Yeah, but let's call a spade a spade. Like, every player who wears the India cricket jersey takes on a responsibility that's greater than the game. As Suryakumar Yadav said, like, some things are bigger than sportsman spirit. Some will say that this is not cricket. On the contrary, this is cricket. This is fair. This is righteous. If anything is cricket, this was it.
Okay. So on that positive note, let's hope that Pakistan sort of does take back the official complaint. I think we'll know tomorrow if they play their game. They have their game against UAE, which is a sort of a knockout game in that sense. And do we shake hands to end this episode, or do we not shake hands?
We're friends. We trust each other. We realize.
Okay, so we're on opposite sides of the border of the screen right now, but we are still shaking hands in the spirit of the game. So thank you, and thank you, Anshuman, for your time. And let's hope we have something interesting to discuss in the next episode.
Awesome.
Cheers.